What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk to you about Ethereum Classic. I want to go over some of the data points, some key levels to watch for, and realistically where I see things going from here. Before we get into any of that, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up, and with that, let's get right to it. So at the time of doing this video, it is consolidating a little bit, down 0.75%, but we are seeing some okay volume, so just shy of around 7 million. And over the last couple of trading days, you've seen abnormal volume ever since it looks like December the 14th, transitioning to December the 15th. That's where it jumped from about 4.5 to 6.5 million. And since then, it's kind of just gone up from there. And what is very abnormal is ETC is trending on Stocktwits, which is kind of, I haven't seen that occur since like 2021, 2022. So in general, there really hasn't been that much news associated to ETC to justify this abnormal volume. One thing as well that I generally like to look at, I bring up on occasion on these types of videos, is number of merchants accepting ETC as a form of payment. So just in December, it has increased 14, so right now sitting at 897. And generally, for those of you that like to kind of look at charts and so forth, this is exactly what you want to see as far as growth. So even though ETC largely hasn't had that much in updates or anything, it is kind of growing. And so this is generally what you want to see. You want to see more utility. When it comes down to ETC though, in comparison to a lot of its peers, it's been kind of nothing special. So still ranked number 39 among all the coins. So over the last 7 days, it is down 6.25%. Then over the last 24 hours, pretty flat for the most part. So in general, it's just largely piggybacking off the broader market. But like I said, it is oddly enough trending on Stocktwits because of the abnormal volume. Right now, the Fear and Greed Index is under the fear category. That's the crypto Fear and Greed Index. So in theory, people's appetite for risk isn't necessarily there. But last month, we were under the extreme fear, and last time I did a video, I think ETC was roughly around $11, and I said that most likely you're going to see a nice recovery, a good opportunity to buy, but it was going to be more of a short-term trade. This is why I like to invest with kind of just based on the data. No emotion, no emotional connection or kind of rash decisions or anything. Just look at the data. It's not that difficult. So in general, given the circumstances, the market is still unsure about a potential rate cut for the upcoming January 28th meeting. And so when it comes down to that, the market kind of doesn't really have any real reason to kind of move higher. So a cryptocurrency, obviously I've explained, is just an extension of people's appetite for risk. Some people might argue that it's kind of more than that. I kind of don't really think so, in my opinion. I could be wrong, but nonetheless, right now people's appetite for risk isn't really there. And this is why ETC right now, even though despite the good volume, you are seeing it consolidate a little bit. One thing that I generally like to look at is the liquidations. And in the past, we've actually seen ETC go through numerous short squeezes, and shorts just love ETC. Ever since I started covering it way back in 2021, 2022, like shorts love ETC. And as of late, surprisingly enough, it's actually gone down largely because of just longs liquidating. So for instance, on the 18th, we had 92,000 in longs liquidating, and then about 67,000 in shorts. Aside from that, we had 633,000 longs close out. So that was on December the 17th. That's what caused it to get to that low of 11 and change. So that was a good opportunity for a quick swing trade, but still it does look like it wants to kind of pull back to that general range again. Right now though, with it at 1228, it is right on this S2. So 1224 is going to be a good support level. Potentially it could kind of bounce off of that for a micro swing trade, but I do feel realistically is going to kind of test that again. And then 1162 is going to be the following support level. So I think in general, if you're wanting to dollar cost average, that 1162 might be potentially a good opportunity to kind of get in. And if you're willing to really monitor a trade, this 1224 might be a good entry as well, but again, you kind of have to monitor that. Aside from all of that fun stuff, like I mentioned, there really hasn't been that much in crypto news. Just people are kind of still speculating on what is coming next. A lot of kind of ETF approvals and so forth. So yeah, it is what it is, unfortunately. But aside from all of that fun stuff, quickly popping over here. So as you can kind of see from the flow, a lot of smaller transactions. So of course, that kind of isn't institutions. That's more linked to algorithmic trading as well as just general retail. So that is kind of the culprit on why ETC as of late has been getting little bit bump up in the volume, but nonetheless, it is still trading below that 10-day moving average. That generally is a very, very big deal for just cryptocurrency, a lot of momentum plays. So it really needs to get above that, hopefully in the next day or so. That is currently sitting at 1246. It did momentarily have a push higher than that for the high, but as of late, it is looking like it wants to consolidate again. As of right now, you do see stochastic RSI have a nice bullish deviation starting to form. It is at 47, so it's somewhat neutral, not really considered overbought nor oversold. And there really hasn't been that much in news associated to ETC, as I kind of mentioned. So all in all, I think just ETC is going with kind of the back and forth of just the broader market. Market is still trying to really think about what the next big catalyst is. And as I mentioned, even though a lot of people keep shouting like alt season, I think just the circumstances aren't necessarily there. A lot of the data points, like the market is still not really confident in a January cut. If potentially that does come to fruition and we get some negative data to justify that, then ETC and many other coins would potentially be the good place to kind of load the boat and really buy. But for right now, it does look like it wants to consolidate. But again, if you are looking for a quick swing trade, day trade, really just look at that kind of 1224 as a good support level. But do your own due diligence at the end of the day. So let me know your viewpoint. Where do you see things going? Are you buying? Are you selling? What's your kind of viewpoint on all of that? On a side note, again, looking at the 10-minute, it's kind of good to look at different viewpoints, 10-minute and so forth. But generally, I like to look at the daily because this is very, very strong support and resistance points. But let me know your viewpoint on ETC. One final thing, if you're looking for some solid buy signals on stocks, options, and crypto, pop over to my Stacked account. Just made a promotion just for this weekend. So I lowered it from 55 down to 20. So if you're looking for some on point buy signals, definitely pop over there just for this weekend only. With that said, appreciate all of you watching.